the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
Good afternoon to the good people. Good afternoon to the bad people, friends and enemies. Good afternoon, boom, shakalaka to you all. I am Chris Base. BaseLine right here with you as we congregate every Friday. And that's at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We want you to be well where you are. Let me see. I'm checking a couple of things here tech-wise, so please forgive me as I try to navigate through this situation here. Okay. So I should be on. Hold on 1 second. What's on the mouse? It keeps on trying to disappear. Give me a couple of seconds here. Okay. Testing. 2 1 2. Okay, that should do it. Okay. Hopefully that should do it. Okay. Let's see, we go right into the comment section. Hello, Innova Ingram. She is, of course, the official cook, chef of her and her brother Mark of BaseLine here. Good afternoon, Chris Base and Base Nation. Thank you so much, Innova, for being here. What's up, Omar? Good afternoon, Chris. Happy pre-Thanksgiving to you and your family, and happy Friday to you, my friend, and the same to you and yours as we do the pre-Turkey Day coming up next Thursday, of course. And it got here kind of quick. I don't know about you. It got here kind of quick for me. Usually there's a pace. You know what it is? These no offense, because my family does it. As far as like my daughter and her family do it. It's pre-Christmas stuff. Yeah, they have the tree up already. I told you my family lives in Arizona, so we video call when I get a chance to see them and the babies and the grandbabies, and they got the Christmas tree up already. It haven't even got the Thanksgiving yet. It's a good artificial tree because when I signed on to do the video call with the grandbabies, you're like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. They're 4 and 3. Merry Christmas. I was like, what the hell talking about Merry Christmas? Not even Christmas yet. And then the camera on the phone pans over to their tree. So no wonder they're hyped up. They got Christmas on their brain. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. But it's not my, you know what I'm saying? I thought that they would wait, but it's their family, obviously. Got a tree up. In fact, my neighbor across the street has his lights up already too. So yeah, everybody's doing the pre-Christmas. And even celebrate, of course they will, Thanksgiving, but good night. Let me get some tea here so I can feel a little stronger. Hold on a second. Now, I don't have a cold, but yeah. Tis good. Yeah, I know. I'm a traditionalist. I go in the order of what we have for holidays. I'm not anti it, but there you go. So various ways to contact the program. You want to come on through. That's 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. Through the phone number, you contact me, of course. I am the base on, what's that, people? That's right, Instagram. And of course, the very important, I'm not modest, of course, but the very important Chris Base channel on YouTube. The Chris Base channel, all one word with a period at the end of the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Also contact me through Facebook Live. And if you more than dare yourself to ask for the link, and I'll put it in there in the comment section and come on through. Okay, so here we go. The menu. Mark is cooking, of course. Chef Mark, her brother. Let's see. That's deep fried catfish fillets, Creole rice and steamed broccoli. Drink homemade lemonade. Dessert. My strawberry birthday cake and vanilla ice cream. Again for the cheap seats. Mark is cooking, so deep fried catfish fillets, Creole rice, and steamed broccoli. The drink of choice is homemade lemonade. Dessert, my strawberry birthday cake with vanilla ice cream. Of course, no, and I've celebrated a birthday recently, so happy birthdays as we continue on with that. What you saying? I have started my Christmas card list. I haven't sent out Christmas cards in years. I had not sent it out. It just stopped. I commend you for still sending out Christmas cards because again, it's one of those things where people stopped and they'll go online and do it that way. Like any of us doing, and most others. I hope it's most others do it a traditional fashion and handwritten card to say Merry Christmas or just you know what? It just I can't remember the last time I ever wrote a letter. Period. Because it's amazing in schools they don't teach you how to write cursive anymore. It's like an art gone by the wayside because everything is on here and there's some kind of technological advancement through computers and tablets and phones, everything else. Every now and again, I mean, for certain documents, you may be able to, of course, still write cursive, but those are people who still know how to write their name in cursive. It does make one think. I couldn't believe it when they stopped doing that, stopped teaching students how to write their names or writing cursive writing. Just I don't get it. I guess it wasn't meant for me to get. Shout out to my man Wise. I hope it's working because I had some issues with the whole thing with tech stuff for Real Wise Radio. My man Wise All. Thank you, brothers, always for having us part of the excursion to go through the airways or go through the air itself. Omar, I remember years ago, my mom always goes to Hallmark store to buy Christmas cards, and she always mail her Christmas cards early. Well, your mother was very forthright and progressive to get out early and to do things like that. I don't, yeah, the whole Christmas stuff, yeah, ooh wee. And to each their own. If you want to celebrate early and begin, for me, I don't mind it to a degree. I remember because I have like most people have Spotify, and they were advertising Christmas in July, some of their spots on there, and I'm checking it out, and I'm like, this is July. It's hot as hell outside, but they're advertising that. They always advertise that throughout the years, radio, television, Christmas in July, or well, I think it's Omar mentioned about Hallmark, the Hallmark Channel on cable, for example, so you can get your Hallmark on watching that. Christmas tree and wreath will go up after Thanksgiving Day. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. And sometimes, once again, people are stuck in tradition. I know I am. That's just me, but I don't knock anybody else who do it. But hell, my family does it out there in Arizona. And God bless their ministries. So again, this is the month coming up in December where I'm broke. Don't ask me for no money because I ain't got it, honey. Because I'm broke. Or ask me for a little bit because I ain't got shit. I'm broke. December is the broke month. Not only Christmas present, mind you. So Everly my granddaughter, the baby, her birthday is December 3rd or 6th. I always get these confused. Hold on, see, let me check just to be sure. So I told Mattia to send me the baby's birthday so I'll know. Okay, okay, I got it right. So Everly's is December 3rd. My mother, who will be 90 this year, hers is December 14th. Then Brianni, my oldest daughter, Christmas Eve, December 24th. And not to mention Christmas gifts for the family. Broke. Broke y'all. Don't ask me for nothing because I gotta spend it. You know, it's my family. Yeah, just stay broke. Advertise. I love Hallmark. I don't watch it. I know of it obviously. I mean, I'm talking about it, but I never watched it. It's like there's a lot of rom coms on there. You know, find out if if Beverly is really dating Santa Claus's uncle. And it was a good looking guy with an 8-pack and stuff like that. He's supposed to be Santa Claus's uncle or nephew or something like that. Wow, you get hit hard in the summer and the types. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's not even funny. My dad, God rest his soul, had it made way before all this because let's see. So my parents' anniversary is in June. I'll take that back. Okay, June for the anniversary, then June for Father's Day with my dad. Then July 1st was his birthday, so he cleaned up. He cleaned up completely. Okay, there you go. Correction. I love the store at the channel. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well that's cool too. Going back to Hallmark and cards is concerned. Well, like I said, they created a channel, as you know, and then there's all this rom com stuff on there, which if you like it, go ahead. But ooh wee, Christmas, Christmas in March. They even like a damn July, which of course half the year. But nah, shit, they start early, and we've seen it and we heard it with these commercials that they start sometimes Christmas commercials in September. I kid you not. Once again, listen on Spotify. The spots in between the music I listen to. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna pay the service where I get commercial free stuff. I don't. That's not me. I'd rather just suffer through the commercial and get back to my music of the catalogs I've created, the music I like over the years. But yeah, they you hear those spots and they don't mind. No shame in their game at all for them to start with the Christmas and stuff. Hallmark types, the Hallmark channel my uncle likes. And that's cool. It is cool in the gang. Oh boy. But yeah, I just like the whole thing of you create your own order, obviously. So, what can you say? You go with what you know. Let's see here. So Look at this story here. Talk amongst yourselves. Once again, to call into the program, 312-597-2106. You can, of course, contact me through the comment section. People are doing that right now through the Peanut Gallery. You type in that. I am the base on Instagram, YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel, all one word, at the end of the channel. Subscribe, like, and share. So let's see here. Probably gonna. Okay, let me do this instead. Go back to the comment section. What's up, Jed? Okay, December 18th here. Oh, you wanted a birthday present and on Christmas present. Yeah, see, yeah, my wife, God rest her soul, when the baby was born on Christmas Eve, we did not shortchange her at all because we talked about, ironically, we talked about that when we were dating, how certain people we knew got shorted because they would combine the gifts and say, "This is your birthday and Christmas." No. As a matter of fact, we had birthday cake for her and ice cream on her birthday, like everybody else. And then next day, you got Christmas. Shoot, being our child, I think she racked up pretty well. Birthday cake, Christmas presents. You got it made. Birthday cake, birthday presents, and the next day got Christmas presents. That's pretty sweet. That's a sweet deal. And that's what we did because we just thought it was unfair. You can't control how you're born. But no, we always separated too, and rightfully so. We stood by that. I saw the first Wicked movie this past Wednesday. The movie was good, but I got tired of too many songs. So you saw the first one. So you didn't see the new one, Wicked for Good, because that's the one out now. The second one. So you saw the first Wicked. I know they still had the first Wicked movie out. They've been advertising the second one. As we know, the movie's in two parts. So I thought they've been showing the second one a lot. Okay, Wicked came on NBC. Okay, cool. So now you saw the first movie. Will you see the second one? Will you go out and see the second one, or wait for it to come on television? Yeah, my daughter Brianni went to go see it when he was here in Chicago as a play. So I think the advertisement of the coming was Broadway in Chicago. I don't know if still have it or not. And she went a couple of times to some of their early matinee shows when she was in high school. So she saw the movie. She loved the movie. Said the movie brought tears to her eyes. Speaking of Wicked, my grandbaby Everly has got to the point now where she wants to sing the Wicked song. Well, not call it the Wicked song. It's Abela or Apela, whatever her name is, the one that's the character, the one who plays the Wicked Witch of the West, who becomes that. Area to advertising, that type of stuff. So the baby, who is 3, is now on that kick. So she doesn't say she says ha ha ha, like she's laughing, and she loves it. She did it for me about 8 or 9 times. It's probably the reason why my left ear went numb. But it was fun. It was fun watching the baby do that. It was kind of cool. That's her thing too. That's her thing too. The whole Wicked song. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cute. Let's see. Well, your president is at it again. I guess the question is when isn't he? When isn't he at it again? Trump said today that he's not threatening death towards a group of Democratic members of Congress whom he accused of committing insidious behavior. And he said a day earlier was punishable by death. In the old days, if you said a thing like that, that was punishable by death. Trump said in an interview Friday on conservative Brian Kilmeade's radio show when asked to clarify what he meant. The president's latest remarks come after he lodged the accusation and warning Thursday. The Democratic lawmakers, many of whom are veterans, released a video urging members of the military and intelligence community not to follow illegal orders. Senator uh, Alicia Slotkin, or Alyssa Slotkin, of Michigan, who previously worked at the CIA and Defense Department, on Tuesday shared the video of herself and other former members of the military and intelligence community. This administration is pitting our uninformed military and intelligence community professionals against American citizens. Like us, you all sworn an oath to protect and defend this Constitution. Right now, the threats coming to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. You must refuse illegal orders, they said. No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or the Constitution. The other participants included Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, Representatives Chris DeLuzio of Pennsylvania, and Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire, Chrissy uh, Houlihan of Pennsylvania, and Jason Crow of Colorado. Let's see. Go back to the comment section. No, I didn't see the second movie. I will stream it. Back in the day, I saw the musical on stage. It was good. I read the book many moons ago. I'm glad the Green Witch now is in color. So the feeling means different for me now. Okay, cool. Innova types about Wicked. It's one of those things when it was on stage back in the day, it took like a life of its own. I remember they advertised for it, of course, on TV, you see the advertisements, things like that. So, yeah, over the years, yeah, it's become a thing. Trump responded to the video message in multiple posts on Truth Social, including one where he said, "Seditious behavior punishable by death." Other posts, such as one that said, "Hang them, George Washington would." The president denied that he threatened members of Congress. He said, "I think they're in serious trouble. I would say they're in serious trouble. I'm not threatening death, but I think they're in serious trouble. In the old days, it was death. That was insidious behavior." This shouldn't be surprising to all of us. It shouldn't be surprising to all of us at all. And the fact that it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, as you know. Because this is who Trump is. He is a non-caring bastard. He is. And I know people out there still love him. You know, they voted for him. I don't understand how that works. You voted for the man and he turns his back on you. But I digress. So yeah, these 6 Democrats who are in the intelligence community, CIA, FBI, the whole like, who have been telling people who serve this country not to go against the Constitution. Don't go against it. And here's Trump on social media saying that they should be punishable by death by going against the president himself. So you have ICE agents out here and people doing the most. And as a military person, what should you do? It just makes sense for people like Senator Mark Kelly and the other 5 who served in the intelligence community, for active officers or active people in the military or not, to come to them for guidance and some sort of wisdom. in this era of what we're living in. So it's very confusing. Do you serve the man in the office or do you serve the Constitution? That has to be, if you're a military person, it has to be very alarming because your heart is aligned with the country. You're here for the country, more so the president. The president and country's supposed to be one. But this situation is not because Trump has made it clear that everybody within the sound of his voice, within the administration, should do his bidding. Not what's good for the country, but what's good for him. And then you say things like seditious behavior, and then you repost what someone else said about them and the Democrats should be hanged. That gets you off the hook. Oh, well, I didn't say that. Yeah, but you reposted it from somebody else saying about hanging. And what's completely sad is that somebody will try to go after these 6 people to hang them. We've seen these other politicians get shot or shot and killed because there's crazy people out there or dog whistling that Trump does very well to his MAGA people or the people who responds to what he's saying to pull that off, to go and try to find a way to hang these people. Nothing is far off anymore. All that's gone. All that's out the window. Anything literally can happen. Anything. Because that's where we are right now in this country. You can't shrug off the impossible or something that sounds obscene or something that sounds like, oh, that's ludicrous. Not the rapper, but it sounds ludicrous. But that's not going to happen. It could. It really could. I think Trump likes to see himself in the media. His behavior is very disturbing. Oh, yeah, and that's a given. He loves the media. He is the media, and he hate to say that. And I once been covering all this news for going on. I hit the 30-year mark, so 30 years going on 31. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, where every news cycle deals with him. Every news cycle is about him, and that's by design. He wanted to see himself on television and throughout the world, and people to say his name and quote all praise to him, and you put his name out there in the news cycle all the time. Never seen it before in my life until now. It is just that's disturbing too. It really is, and again, it's not getting any better. No end in sight. Because he considers himself, again, this is just, me, armchair psychologist. I think he sees himself as a celebrity, not the celebrity you get when you become the president. I'm talking about a celebrity. Like he really believes that he's up there with these movie stars and everybody else because in his mind, that's what he thinks. Again, why would it, and coming up next month, which is sad, for Trump to host the Kennedy Center Honors. That's how he sees himself. Really. And ask, what tea are you drinking? I'm drinking raspberry tea today. Very, very good. Very good indeed. Anyway, did you see the McDonald's sponsored flip out this week? Broke my brain. Drip water. Yeah. And yeah, good point, Jed. So the president was at his, sponsoring his favorite place, McDonald's. Well, Clinton liked McDonald's too, when President Bill Clinton was in office too. He was jogging around, hey, give me that Big Mac. He'll eat that and stuff like that. Yeah, but this guy, Yeah, eat Big Macs all that. What was that time? I think it was when Trump was in office his first time. I want to say it was the whoever won the Sugar Bowl in college football and invited the people to the White House and they ate burgers. Traditionally what I was told, and it was also in the media and in the press, that you would get a cooked steak dinner from the staff of the White House. The White House cooks will prepare steaks and every the accoutrements that go along with it for that type of visit because it's special. No, this dude puts out burgers and fries from McDonald's. Yeah. What's up, D. Curtis? Good evening, Base. Good evening, D. Curtis. Man, I talked about you recently to a couple of people. I was rehashing the time we were at UBM, and you had the idea you brought to my attention about Crazy Howard. Yeah, good times. How you doing? You know what? Since D. Curtis Randall was here, and since I was having an unfortunate flashback, let's see. Yeah, he bragged about getting RFK Jr. to eat McDonald's again, but he lost all focus. Yeah, that's to be expected. This is the same person, Trump, who talked about Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. What happens to Trump? Falls asleep at the Resolute desk. Falls asleep. Probably had the old man slobber knocker thing going at the same time. Let's see. So, Dr. Ron, how you doing, brother? Good for you to be here. Thank you so much. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad Dr. Ron's here because we were supposed to do a. Hold on, let me. We were supposed to do a get together cast, as I called it, between Dr. Ron, Lee Michaels, and myself. And I got a call from Ron, and Ron was saying, give me a call back, and I did. And then come to find out that Lee injured himself. Lee got into an unfortunate accident, I put it like that. I ain't gonna say what kind of happened because it was just a little bit too much for me. But unfortunately, Lee is not feeling well. So we were supposed to do it yesterday, so we're going to postpone it until Lee feels better, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I hope Lee feels better, and Lee know what he did. So yeah, get well, Lee. We need you. We need to get back on the grind so we could get out here and do that little. So I was gonna call it half of six because we were part of Six Guys and You, and it was Dr. Ron's idea to bring us back to get back with the public and do a recap and let everybody know our take on recent things. Let's see. Oh, more times. I hope Mr. Michaels feels better and he is in my prayers. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to need it. Being Lee, he's going to definitely need it. What you got, Dr. Ron, the laughing emoji? Yeah, Doc. Yeah, it was interesting for him. Let's see. Let me check something out here real quick. So right here. Okay, good. I'm back to my regular big head. So I hate tech. At the same time, I like it and I hate it. Love it and hate it. I love to hate it. So as you see, my normal dome is back. Uh, thank the good Lord, because StreamYard had this thing about Mars multi. I don't know what I forgot what it was. Ain't good. So I hit it by mistake, and what it does is give you a different view of the show. So it's like my head is 10 times bigger, which it should not be, and then the ticker is above my head. Did my mistake, so I tinkered around and was able to get take care. A friend of mine helped me out with it, and I'm like, "Good God!" I couldn't. It's disgusting. What's up, Lydell? It says, "Base man, what's up, man?" Lydell River, how you doing, brother? How you feeling? How you doing? How your family doing? I was saying about Crazy Howard McGee. So my man D. Curtis Randall, we were back at UBM. So D. Curtis Randall brought to my attention just before Crazy got started working at terrestrial radio again. He was off radio for 8 years at this time, and UBM Urban Broadcast Media was a streaming broadcasting outlet. We had 3 streams: UBM Talk, UBM Music, and UBM Praise. Lydell Tire says, "All good in the hood." Yeah, brother, it's all good on here. Yeah, thank you for being here, brother. So we had 3 streaming services. So I was on UBM Talk at the time. I was also operations manager. So D. Curtis brought to my attention about Crazy Howard's trying to make a return in some way, shape, or form to some form of broadcasting. So we talked it over, and the possibility of bringing Crazy Howard over to UBM Music, do a weekly show. And because of D. Curtis's idea, I crafted the email, make sure D. Curtis got credit. I put his name in an email specifically, and I gave it to my boss, the late Dr. Leon Finney. So I typed it and gave it to him, and he said, "Yes, go after him, go do it." I got the okay. So we met. Crazy Howard and I met at UBM. Went back to the back to the kitchen area, and we're talking, and then Doc comes down. I mean, Doc Finney comes down the steps, and they start talking because, of course, Leon's Ribs, and Crazy Howard at the time, I think, owned a couple of Harold Chicken franchises. So they're talking shop about wholesale food and stuff like that. So it was a perfect situation for him to come on board. And Crazy Howard said yes, he would love to come on board. He would put in the money to help him get new studios, and then he had sponsors waiting for him, and said that getting back on board, that he would help out, and not only that, that the ancillary profits of the commercial time be split right down the middle, 50-50. For him and for UBM. Perfect. Unfortunately, never happened. So years later, I'm on here, doing my program, and Crazy Howard, I think, popped up in the conversation. I don't believe, I forgot when, but he contacted me, I believe, through the show, and we would talk, and he felt that Crazy Town, was the name of the people that he responds to on the show, was better than Base Nation. And I told him, put down the crack pipe. But put it down. You put no, that's not how this works. You have your side of town. I have Base Nation. No. Why don't you stop and merge with Crazy Town and be part of, no, Doc. No. Why don't you drop what you do and be a part of Base Nation? You ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna ask you that because you ain't gonna do it. So and that's how the rivalry started. It was a friendly rivalry nonetheless. So he has a show on B103 noon to 5, I think, on Saturday, and noon to 6 on Sundays, I believe. If not, you can check it out for yourself. But so the thing called Battle of the Bands. So you get an artist and pick some songs, and he gets artists pick some songs, and go back and forth to see who has the best artist through voting for people calling into the program. So before all this, we talked on the phone privately, and I knew him from the time I met him at UBM and everything else. So, we had a nice little friendly conversation for a while, going back and forth. We just talked shit back and forth about who was a better broadcaster, who had the better following and stuff like that, whatever. I love doing stuff like that because it's classic theater of the mind. And that's my mentality when I first got on the radio. As a kid, listening to those old time radio programs or even at the time current radio programs. 'Cause I grew up in the 70s and 80s, born in 1967. So that was right up my alley. And I love radio rivalries over the years, whether from back in the day or current. So him and I would develop a rivalry because he was on terrestrial radio and I wasn't. I was on social media. So I thought that was a good hook. Then we'll go from there. So he invites me on Battle of the Bands on the show on B103. I can't even tell you what band I had. I forgot. So I was told by the people who've been on the show before that if you win or tie, he's not going to tell you, but he'll invite you back for a rematch. All right, cool. I knew that going into it. And I love being the villain. I love being the bad guy because I'm going into hostile territory. And some of the callers were coming after me, which I expect they would do because I was insulting their host. So I was telling him, like, for example, I think this one lady called in, "Who are you?" I kept asking her, "Who are you?" "I don't know who you are. I know who you are." Tell you what, why don't you start a conversation all over again? Why don't you start, why don't you, hey, take two. Start all over again and just tell me who you are. I have to tell you who I am? Well, you just as crazy as your host is. Both of y'all crazy. In fact, your whole people are crazy. They all need straitjackets. So we were having a good time. We were. And I was invited back on the show. Now, in radio, host and some people do it depending on their format. They'll pre-record some things and play it during the show. So some is live and some are pre-recorded. So some of the stuff that Crazy Howard was doing, because he had to edit some stuff out to put in the caller's reaction of the Battle of the Bands. I come back the second time. Now, the first time I was edited, not a lot, just a little bit. I was brought back. The second time, he edited everything I said. I sound like a fucking simp. I sounded stupid. And he did the shit on purpose. I haven't talked to him since. That's petty. I mean, real talk, that's some petty shit. You petty white. So you couldn't just take the L like anybody else. You're going to invite me back on and then insult me and then make fun of me and then make me sound stupid because you edited out my best material. Because you lost or because I won. And that could have been the end of that. We would have been cool in the game. But no, you're going to invite my ass back and then do that. That's low. That's really low. And I've heard stories about Crazy Howard anyway, but I don't judge that if I meet the person face to face and they don't do anything to me until that time, which he did. So fuck him. I don't. That's messy. I don't like that. It's wrong, and it's once again shows how some people just don't develop in the mind. So maybe he really is crazy, motherfucker. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to one sick. Diggy, how you doing, sick? Thank you for being here. I mean, I'm asking you out there. What would you think if that happened to you? What would you think? Because me personally, I don't like wasting people's time. I don't. But not everybody gets the memo on that. They want to fuck around and waste your time all the live long day. Oh, no problem, man. Don't worry about being late. Don't worry about it, sick. How have you been? Okay. I'll just give him the story about this guy that I thought I liked in radio and then turned out to be an asshole. As I said before, you when you take that time and much energy to invite somebody back to a radio program, because again, battle of the bands, and my band or artist won, and instead of saying, "Hey, man, good job," or whatever you want not to say, whatever the hell, then invite me back to embarrass me because you couldn't take the L that first time. I think it's sick. Not sick like sick diggy, but sick, SICK, the original. Some people are put in one's past to test one's resolve and principles. Yeah, but then just some people just assholes. I'm not discrediting what you're typing, sick, but it just well again asshole behavior. Jeez. Like Trump. There you go. That's what I think it's just a colossal waste of time. It really is. Oh man. Let's see. I don't know. It's just strange to me that somebody would take all that time to do something like that, especially uh when you're just trying to vibe and create entertainment for the masses out there and for your show do well and my show do well and we're both growing. I know you have established audience and mine's still on the growth spectrum, but what can one say? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't. Again, I just think that that's a lot of energy to put towards one to embarrass somebody. I really, really believe that. Whatever coming is coming his way. Yeah, let it come full throttle. I do believe in karma. Barack and Michelle Obama sat out former Vice President Dick Cheney's funeral on Thursday. The couple was not in the crowd of mourners at Washington National Cathedral. A source confirmed to People that they do not plan to attend to give their condolences. Uh, well, let's start off with that. If a person does not want to attend a funeral, okay, then that's it. That's it. But you know how the press is, you know how people are, they want to create something from nothing. There was a song back in the day with my man Billy Preston. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something if you want to be with me. Yeah, that's fine. A chain of powerful vice president to former Republican President George W. Bush died on November 3rd at the age of 84. While it's common for first couples to attend the funeral for a vice president, expectations are not entirely defined, as the Obamas are not the only high profile figures who will forego the Thursday morning service. Notably, Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance were reportedly not invited to Cheney's funeral, a detail that Axios first reported on November 19th. The absence as the sitting leaders of a country is a more staunch departure from tradition, but not entirely surprising given that Cheney broke party ranks to endorse Democratic presidential ticket during that time in 2024. I remember that Billy Preston joined. Yeah, absolutely. Billy, yeah, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Gotta have something. If you want to be me, yeah. The problem is that certain, I think certain people may come in as bad faith actors, especially if they view you as a threat, unfounded or otherwise. Yeah, I go along there. I just again just waste. Just a wicked waste, man. Former President Bill Clinton is also expected not to attend. This is written before, not to expected to attend due to an unavoidable scheduling conflict, according to multiple reports. So, of course, this came out before the funeral. But my point is, when other stories deal with the fact of, well, they didn't show up to the funeral. Okay, well, they didn't show up. It's beyond cool. Now, the one thing I do have to say before when there was a funeral and Michelle didn't come and Barack did, and I'm like, okay, well, the seating order, maybe she would have to sit next to Trump, and maybe she had nothing to do with that man whatsoever. But I think I had a story when she had a scheduling conflict, and there you go, and didn't want to go anyway. Now, I do believe that she should have attended the funeral of Jimmy Carter. That was a strange one. That she didn't go to that one. That one was odd to me. Why would you not go to Jimmy Carter's funeral? I don't know. Maybe she has a thing about not going to funerals. While I was watching the documentary about Eddie Murphy being Eddie, he mentioned about not going to funerals. He said, I can't do it. He said, I can't do it. And some people can't do funerals. Don't be wrong. I mean, I know some people just won't go at all. They just won't do it. And they have their right not to go. I'm surprised they're having Cheney's funeral now. Yeah. Very odd indeed. Sick types again. Yeah, that was strange. And again, we don't know what's happened between the families. Again, I'm not, I mean, just being the media, I haven't heard anything through the grapevine around the campfire. There was some beef between the Obamas and the Carters. As much as Jimmy Carter did for this country, despite what people think, look what he did after his presidency. Building homes and helping people. Not surprising at all. Let's not forget how Trump wasn't invited to Senator John McCain's funeral during his first term. Correct, because people like Dick Cheney and John McCain realized what was coming down the pike for their party. It was Trump, and they wanted no part of it. And they made it vocally clear that Trump was not good for the party. Don't get me wrong. I have to say that I did have some glee towards that because here are the Republicans saying that we don't want Trump, but you, me, and the Republicans have always inched towards making a Trump in the first place. So when you always talk about it's my way or the highway, again, the way that Republicans came off on the national front, they just seem like bullies to me. Very mean spirited as a whole, or the persona they wanted to present to the public. It didn't look good, didn't sound good. And so here comes Trump pretty much just once again busting the doors down and saying, look, since you won't say it, I'll say it for you. Since you won't go there, I'll go there for you. And you had some Republicans like McCain and Cheney who said, no, I'm not going to be a part of that. Like article I was reading you, telling you, uh, Cheney supported a Democrat. Now, you like as staunch Republican conservative as he was, to go against the party altogether and vote Democratic, that right there should have said something. That right there should have been damning. One of the most powerful vice presidents in our nation did not want to deal with the Trumpites or Trump himself and broke party and voted Democrat. That should have been eye opening. I mean, it was to me and others, but that should have been goddamn eye opening, and it was. As well it should be. So, yeah, it gets worse and worse. It gets curiouser and curiouser by the moment. Because that's where we are in this country. It's, I said before earlier about Trump saying about the 6 Democrats who he believes should be hanged. Now, Trump, no, he's stupid, but he ain't that stupid. He knows the power he wields. He knows that. Those are all too well. So when you say words like hanged or hung, depending on how you look at it, somebody, again, I repeat, is going to take that seriously. Again, it's a dog whistle to get somebody to go after the 6 and to attempt to hang them. And like I said before, you can plead the 5th, you can lie. Well, I didn't say it. But once again, on Truth Social, you reposted someone saying, hang them. You reposted it. So that means you co-signed on it. That's pretty much what you did. You co-signed. And somebody around the world, the nation, is going to follow what you said and did. They're going to do it. Why? Because they want to make sure that that the job gets done. 6 types of that's criminal indictment. Well, yeah, well, in incitement. Yeah, you're right, but it doesn't matter. Remember, remember January? Remember January 5th? Telling his people, I'll get there with you. Storming the Capitol. Hang. He used the word hang back then, remember? Hang who? Hang Mike Pence. Hang Nancy Pelosi, but especially Mike Pence. It's not his first rodeo. He's using the same playbook, the same words he did in his first administration and before that. So it's about 10 years of this shit. 10 years. You just round off. 10 years straight. Same playbook. Same thing. And to wish death on somebody that disagrees with you, to wish death on somebody or these 6 people, these 6 Democrats, because, and once again, they're part of the intelligence community serving in the FBI or CIA, because they don't agree with you, they should be marked for death. It's punishable by death. I mean, imagine that. I mean, imagine that, and then it's spreading out to the common folk, like you and me. Don't say anything bad about Trump because, be punishable by death. Fuck you. That's how I feel about it. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer has ordered Bill and Hillary Clinton to appear for depositions next month for the panel's investigation into the convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein or faced possible contempt of Congress. Comer initially subpoenaed the former first couple on August 5th to answer questions about their relationship with Epstein, but the Clintons' attorney in November 3rd response had asked for his clients to make merely a written proffer of what little information they have. Given the administration that your clients possesses some relevant information, your position amounts to demand that the Congress and committee forego in-person testimony potentially relevant to its legislative oversight, the powerful GOP chairman said. Additionally, your suggestion that your client's testimony would not be relevant to the statement purposes of the committee's investigation because the events in question took place outside the Clintons' respective office's duty misses the committee's point. It is precisely the fact that President Clinton and Secretary Clinton each maintain relationships with Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell in their personal capacities as private citizens that is of interest to this committee. The 42nd president had been ordered to appear for his disposition at 10 a.m. December 17th. His wife, former Secretary of State, was directed to sit for her deposition at 10 a.m. The following day. If the former first couple failed to show up in defiance of subpoenas, Coleman said he'd begin contempt of Congress proceedings that would require a resolution to pass out the House Oversight Committee and then the full House. A criminal referral would then be sent to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Oh yeah. Part of the reason I think the Epstein files are still being, well, not talking about opening up, but I think part of the reason why we had to wait 5.5 to 6 months was, of course, other people are involved in these files, like the Clintons, or possibly, or allegedly. Not trying to put words in people's mouths, but so it wasn't just Trump trying to protect himself. Other people got to protect their asses too. They have investments as well, which is why, again, 47. It was talking about deflecting, saying there's Democratic hoax. They should go after Clinton and people like that, and not me. I knew Jeffrey Epstein. I had to get rid of him. I put him off my land or whatever the hell he said. He wouldn't know alive it bit him on the side of his ass, meaning Trump. Not at all. So this is what we're dealing with. And what other people are involved in the files as well. Could be the Clintons, could be the first family, could be a lot of dignitaries. A lot. We forget, but we might forget. It's the same Jeffrey Epstein who committed suicide in his cell. Yeah, I had to put my tinfoil hat on that one. I don't think it was suicide at all. I think it was taken out because he was about to squeal. About to sing like a boy. Well, that's what I think was going to happen, especially the fact that, again, you have all these people involved, and Anna Navarro on The View had mentioned this, that all this is doing is protecting rich white men, powerful rich white men. I agree wholeheartedly with what she said. Wholeheartedly. That's exactly it. That's it in a nutshell. So now you have to protect not only Trump's funky ass, got to get everybody else involved because they don't want to get out of it too. Everybody's literally in bed with each other, and there lies the problem. There's going to be a problem. Because, like, wait a minute, those tapes get out, then I'm going to be exposed? No. Yeah, me too. Not just you, Trump, but me too. I don't trust Trump. So why all of a sudden he's he's gung ho for the files to be open? All that time he's been doing the stiff arm from Heisman Trophy stiff arm, doing, just this, that, and throwing out all these different names. Let's say the same playbook like before. Sleepy Joe. We don't want to hear no more. What about Obama? We don't want to hear no more. What about Clinton? Oh, no, no. What about that nasty woman Hillary Clinton? We're tired. None of them don't hear no more. Let's see the files. Let's see it. What do you have to hide? What's going on back there? Three 597 to call in. That's 312-597-2106. YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel, all one word with a period dot at the end. A channel, subscribe, like, and share to that. I am the Base. That's on Instagram. Through the Peanut Gallery there. Through the Facebook Live. Also, we dare to be so bold. I keep telling them. We'll keep on telling you too. You can. I'm going to wear you down. Ask for the link and come on through. Like I said, there's no excuse not to be a part of the program. And once again, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I just know, for me, that all encompassing all the things I mentioned to contact the program makes the program stronger. It's not just me as the host, it's you out there as well. You make the program stronger by typing in or calling in or asking for the link. And then, of course, go tell your friends and your enemies about BaseLine being in the air. See, Grammy Award-winning rapper Pras Michelle of the Fugees was sentenced on Thursday to 14 years in prison for a case in which he was convicted of illegally funneling millions of dollars in foreign contributions to the former President Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. Michelle, 52, declined to address the court before U.S. District Judge Colleen Cotelli, who sentenced him. April 2023, during this time, a federal jury convicted Michelle of 10 counts, 10, including conspiracy and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. I mean, a foreign spy. I can't make this stuff up. The trial in Washington, D.C. included testimony from actor Leonardo DiCaprio and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Department of Justice prosecutors said federal sentencing guidelines recommended a life sentence for Michelle, whom which said betrayed his country for money and lied unapologetically and unrelentingly to carry out his schemes. His sentence should reflect the depth of his crimes, his indifference to the risk of the country, and the magnitude of his greed, they wrote. Defense Secretary Peter Zeidenberg said his client's 14-year sentence is completely disproportionate to the offense. Michelle will appeal his conviction and sentence, according to his lawyer. Zeidenberg had recommended a 3-year prison sentence. A life sentence would be highly, absurdly punishment for Michelle, given that it is typically reserved for deadly terrorists and drug cartel leaders, Michelle's attorney said in court filing. The government position is one that would cause Inspector Jobert to recoil, and if anything, simply illustrate just what goes easily through the guidelines that can be manipulated to produce absurd results and how poorly equipped they are, and at least one of the occasions to determine a fair and just sentence. Yeah, it's broken my heart because I love the Fugees. I really do. And Praz was one of my favorites, still is. But you know what happens, like anything else. I'm not justifying it, but uh, when you look at that perspective of bringing in money, and from the standpoint of saying that this money is for legal donations to the Obama campaign, and they happen to be illegal, not legal, then that's where you have to look at, dude. You're doing the wrong thing here. Again, being convicted 14 years in prison for illegally funneling millions of dollars in foreign contributions to the former President Barack Obama's 2012 reelection campaign. Pras Michelle got convicted for breaking election laws. Yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, because when you look at the breakdown, that's Sick asking the question, the conviction of illegal funneling of millions of dollars in foreign contributions. So if you're skimming off the top or putting it in your pocket or putting something in the pocket, say the contribution will say, I don't know, so let's just say $10 million. You take three or something like that. Or the fact that the channels to get the money was not legal and you probably backdoor the deal. Then that's a no. You shouldn't, because it's paperwork involved. And usually, if you're doing this a lot, as you know, the feds or people that are checking you out, they'll wait. They have to build up a case on you. So it'll take a while, especially keep doing the dirty deed done dirt cheap. If you keep doing that, then you're gonna get caught eventually. You won't get caught today, but sometime down the road you get caught. Because now we got a case against you. And that's what happens. Now I was saying before about pros, when you look at where your life is, your royalty checks, and you know how the music industry is sleazy as fuck, and everybody knows that. Why do a lot of these people nowadays go independent with their work or find a way to own their masters? Because as soon as they see you coming, they see dollar signs with legs. And again, I can skim off the top, yeah. Double scale as some sort of manager where somebody gets two checks off your ass. So it is disgusting. It is. So down the road, you have to find a way to survive. Obviously, you got bills to pay, you have family and stuff like that. Got to find some way. So I'm sorry it happened to him. I was watching a little bit of TMZ. They had Michelle coming out of the courthouse or coming out of something, and they were interviewing him. He was being kind of saying, I can't talk about right now, based upon what I'm going through with the law. So then lawyer. So um, yeah, he said everything will be all right. That was like the main thing. Kept uh, retorting, going back to he was talking to the reporter. Everything will be all right. Oh, so he violated the FARA, the Foreign Agency Registration Act. Well, that's new to me. That's the first time I ever heard. I'm going to see it here in front. From the articles I read again about him being an unregistered agent, being a spy, not only for America but for other countries. So again, the story's still pending, but yeah, it just doesn't look good at all. I know they're going to appeal the 14 years, but it don't look good at all. Especially again, like I said about building a case. Again, what you mentioned about the act, And again, what the story said about him being an unregistered agent. Because I figure unregistered agency, registered agent, illegal contributions coming to fund a presidential campaign. Yeah, that don't look good. That's not good at all. It don't look good, Mike. No, it doesn't. And you would think that in certain situations that I think again it goes back to greed, obviously, desperation. I said before about just basic bills to pay and survival. Yeah, find a way to survive. But it comes with some sort of price, as we know. Some sort of price indeed. So that gets to a point where I don't know. I would say that when you break down the whole thing of knowing what's right and knowing what's wrong, I believe we have a barometer within us that we know what's right and what's wrong. We do, but we don't follow by it because we believe that we're smarter than average bear. That's what we believe. We also believe that we can duck and dodge the law because we're always 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of them. Yep. Trump, and more Trump. So 47 blasted Jimmy Kimmel and ABC following the late night shows host he was hosting on Wednesday, in which the liberal comedian alleged the commander in chief was bracing for Hurricane Epstein. Why does ABC fake news keep Jimmy Kimmel, a man with no talent and very poor television ratings, on the air? Trump wrote on Truth Social. Why do TV syndicates put up with it? Also, totally blasted coverage or biased coverage. Get the bum off the air, Trump says. Goes on to say, during his opening monologue Wednesday night, Kimmel implied Trump will be a major figure in the expected release of the documents related to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. We are carefully following the path of Hurricane Epstein right now. It's a Category 5. Is expected to make landfall sometime very soon, Kimmel said on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The show shared Kimmel's monologue to YouTube in a video titled Trump Braces for Hurricane Epstein, Spews Nonsense, and Elon joins for dinner with Saudi Crown Prince. It's a TV show. 47. It's a late night TV program. Late night hosts have been doing this for years. They have been bringing forth commentary, satire for a long time. On television started in the 1950s. The night show itself, when you go back to the first host of Steve, I don't know I'm sorry, I can't understand how Steve Allen, but I can't understand how somebody can be so thin-skinned, really, who's running this country. Thinned skin. It's a talk show. It got nothing to do with you. From the standpoint of the whole show is not about you, sir. You're just part of the monologue that other presidents before you have done throughout time. I would say Jack Parr, to me, the second host tonight, I think pretty much brought in that era of politics and going after certain people. For me, And that's what I think. Let's see here. Let me do a couple things here. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, so Sick asked for the link. And there you go. So right there in the comment section there, there's the link to get into the show. Yeah, you're Sick, you're more than welcome. Not a problem. Let's see. Trump hasn't been on a late night show since Letterman, has he? It's been a minute. I know he, when he was running for the presidency the first time, he was on with Jimmy Fallon at that time, and Fallon received some flack because he didn't ask him any burning questions. He didn't press him. In fact, he was playing with his hair. You remember that because he was playing with Trump's hair. Is your hair real, dude? I mean, he has that kind of like college preppy frat boy image. Going back to Jimmy Fallon. So yeah, I didn't expect him to ask any hard ass questions anyway. Far from it. That's not Fallon's bag. His bag is to entertain and make people laugh. That's it. That's all. He doesn't get political. He'll say in the monologue, but he doesn't really. He's not the one to go there. Stephen Colbert goes there. Jimmy Kimmel goes there. Seth Meyers goes there. Because the next person he wants off the air outside now, see, he's talking about ABC again. Because a reporter at the Oval Office, he went after her because she was I think it was Mary Bruce, who covers the White House for ABC News. Went after her and saying that that the FCC, that the chairman should revoke their broadcast license for ABC. See shit like that there, and it just gets on my nerve because it's tiring, and you have more bigger fish to fry. Yet you feel that your people, quote unquote, I guess in the world of media, don't like you. They don't like you anyway, but they continue on. So, and you would think by now that you would be happy, meaning if you're Trump, because you got CBS to take off the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Not only that, the whole show, period. The whole show, period. So you couldn't get a replacement for Colbert, so you made sure that nobody comes after him, goes after Trump. And you still ain't happy. You got $15 million in a lawsuit from ABC. You're not happy. You're still not happy. So what can I say? It's just the man is stupid. Let's go out and say what's up to one Sick Diggy. How you doing, Sick?
Hello, hello, Chicago, or as Droopy would say, hello, everybody.
Senor Droopy from Guadalupe. Yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Good cartoon remembrance.
That McWolf, I remember Slick Wolf, I remember the Tom and Jerry's from the 70s
Mm-hmm.
and the old ones, back when it was okay to be violent and it was safe. Nobody really got hurt.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm come on to say, I think we become a little bit too hypersensitive.
Oh, very, very.
And to the point where you're right, cartoon violence was nothing. In fact, like for example, Jim Henson, who was brilliant, of course, creating the Muppets and everything else, and
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog and all these different wonderful characters.
Mhm.
Idea Man is a documentary on Disney Plus. It is wonderful, and
I should check it out.
please check it out. If you're a Jim Henson fan, you'll love it. So it goes back to his early days when he was doing advertisements for, say, I don't know what was the name, like Albertson's coffee, whatever the name of the coffee was, and it was two
Okay.
puppets he created, and one would ask him, "Do you like Albertson's coffee?" No, and he shoots him. The puppet would shoot the other puppet because he didn't like the coffee. Like, do you like Albertson's
Well,
coffee? No, and the other, and it was like, okay, if you go back, if you type in, say, Muppets coffee commercial, something like that on YouTube,
uh-huh.
you will see these two Muppets that he created, meaning Jim Henson, advertise this
Hmm.
coffee. And so again, the violence of it. Do you like Albertson's coffee? No, I don't drink coffee. So the guy's in the house, right? The other guy
Hmm.
puts the bomb in the guy's house and explodes because he don't like the coffee.
Uh, Back then, common sensibilities weren't what they used to be because back then, you know how they used to settle things. It was a different time,
Right.
different era, and just the mentality of certain people.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost as if they were trying to program you. Because remember, this is the '50s, correct?
Correct. Hmm.
What was going on in the '50s? It was the Red Scare, McCarthyism. People look at each other with, like it was so much uncertainty at that time, and
Hmm.
because you're in the first years of the Cold War, so I get that, and don't get me wrong, I'm an '80s baby, so I'm young enough to remember the fall of the Berlin Wall, the fall of the Iron Curtain, everything, but the stories my parents would tell me about how tough it was in the '70s during that time during under communism and such like that. I mean, that's no joke, you know.
Hmm.
So, those who understand Marxism, that's why it's important that's why I think it's always important to read Mao's Little Red Book, Communist Manifesto and such like that. So you could, because what's his name? The late George Carlin would always explain how the importance of being a educated, free thinking society needs to be aware of political science and this and the way the world is, because otherwise we just deaf, dumb, and blind and controlled by fear. Fear is a powerful weapon,
All the
and
time.
fear of the unknown. Yeah,
Right. Absolutely.
this is that's. I mean, I get that. I mean, I can understand it. I can understand like people being afraid of certain things. I can understand certain things being beyond some people's comprehension. I admit there's certain things I'm never gonna understand, and it's not my fault. It's just I understand it, but I don't get it. Like there's certain things that my father, may he rest in peace, didn't understand about my generation. I don't fault him for it. He was a boomer. I was a millennial. I'm a millennial, excuse me. We had that generation gap, and I'm like, hey, welcome to the other side of the generation gap. It is what it is. We all have our experiences about this, that, and the third. And as far as this whole hypersensitivity, I'm like, that has a lot to do with helicopter parenting. Also, when you think about it,
Now, what's helicopter parenting?
oh, helicopter parenting is like when the parent is constantly like hovering over the child, making sure they don't get
Oh,
hurt and
okay. Okay.
such.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Helicopter parenting. Got it.
yeah. There's a song I remember for like in millennial for older millennials, late Gen Xers.
Mm.
It's called "Fill Me In." It's by Craig David. "Fill Me In." The song is basically him sneaking in, hooking up with getting with a girl he likes. But the thing is like her parents are always constantly checking on her. It's called "Fill Me In." And in the hook, they're always asking her certain questions. Of course, it's a British song, so it's a different style of helicopter parenting. But the
Mm.
point is, it's like your parents cannot constantly protect you. Eventually, they got to let you, deal with this, that, and the third. They have to teach you adversity, how to overcome adversity. That's why some parents are just like scared to like let you experience the world.
Yeah,
I
they're
get
afraid
it.
to take the bubble wrap off. I get it. I mean, like I said before, I had two girls. I have two girls, and
Mhm.
obviously they're women now. But my wife and
Mhm.
me knew that one day, of course, they would fly the coop. And so we
Yeah.
were looking forward to being empty nesters the whole nine because that's just a progression of life. You cannot. There's some people, whether they're family or not, were meant to fly, and you can't
Mhm.
just hold on to their wings because you want to keep them safe. You have to let them go, like little stuff. As a parent, as a dad. So, you ever seen the movie
Mhm.
Finding Nemo?
A little bit of it,
Okay,
but
so, and
but
I'll just say,
okay, go ahead.
no, you
I'm
know,
listening.
but I don't know about what?
I was thinking of something else. Like, do you remember the old Hanna Barbera cartoons like Augie Doggy and Daddy Doggy?
Yeah, yeah,
Remember how
yeah.
his father was like, yeah, his father would go out of his way to make sure his son had a good experience, or like Sylvester the cat had a little kitten named Sylvester Jr.
I remember that. Yes,
Oh, the fame! Oh, the fame! I can never show my face anymore. He
I
put a
I
plastic
I,
bag,
I
paper bag
remember
over
that.
his head.
I remember, and also saying, going back to real quick about Finding Nemo. So at the end,
Hmm. Hmm.
Nemo's about to, go on the school the a fish on top of the stingray, who was like their bus guide, and
Uh-huh.
the Nemo rushes back to hug his dad,
Hmm.
and he says, "I love you, Dad. I love you, son." And they were holding on to a little to each other. He's like, "Dad, I gotta go." Oh, sorry. Like, go have an adventure. And then he's like, "Bye, Dad. Bye, son." It's
Yeah.
very powerful. And the
Oh wait,
animation.
I think I know. I got another example. The Goofy movie
So I haven't seen the Goofy
based
movie.
off the Goof Troop.
No, I
Oh,
haven't
Goof
seen it.
Troop. Goofy when his son Max went to college and he just had to deal with he couldn't let go
Right,
and start his
right.
own life. And so, he went back to, so he enrolled in the same college because he needed to get his degree as well. But he
Okay.
hadn't been to school since the 70s.
See
It was kind of
again,
interesting.
you have great writing, whether it's animation or live action. If the story
Hmm.
fits and the characters are believable and you buy into the characters, and then you go
Yeah.
from there. And so, yeah, go back to the whole thing about overprotective parenting.
Oh,
That
yeah.
happens. That happens naturally. I more than understand it, but again, you have to
Hmm.
realize that it's just one of those things that just has to happen, and you just have to trust. You have to trust what you
Absolutely.
poured into them as children. Hopefully, they'll make the right decisions. We all have free will, as we know. So to get out to the
Hmm.
universe and then see what happens. And they may make their own mistakes. They have to
Yeah.
live and learn. They have to, when they fall down, they got to get up by themselves. You're not there anymore. So all you can do is put into the knowledge that you put into them. And then
Hmm.
hopefully, of course, they'll make their own decisions and go from there. And that's all you can do. You just said you love them, wish the wish best. You got to wish all of that for them because if not, you run yourself crazy and probably run yourself crazier than before because oh my god, what's my son doing? Oh my god, what am I doing? You sit your ass down and stop thinking about that because
Yeah.
it's life. As the young folks say, life be life. Just let it go.
Yeah. I mean, prime example of that, if anybody remembers the first Friday movie, Willie Green, played by Johnny Witherspoon,
Hmm.
when he, like, there were two scenes in particular. When he walked into Craig's bedroom, played by Craig, Craig played by Ice
Nice
Cube.
for you. Hmm.
He sees the gun and he says, "What are you doing?" And they explain to him, like, you guys are just punks because you scared to take a whooping. When I was coming up, and he had his hands balled up. He said,
That's two
"This
fists
is
up.
all
Yeah.
we needed." He had the two fists up and told him that. And then
Yeah.
the second scene was when he had to fight Thomas Lister Jr.,
Right.
Debo,
Hmm.
and he had to restrain Anna Marie Horsford, who played his mom,
His mother. Yeah.
Betty. And
Hmm.
she's like, "I don't want to get. No, he got to be a man. He's got to do this. He's got to do this." And she wanted to go. She wanted to like comfort him. We got knocked down. But he's like, "No, no, no, no. Let him come on. Let him get up on his own. Come on, Craig. Come on, Craig." He had to hold. And then the third time, she wanted to reach out to him after he knocked out Debo and he collapsed. And Nia Long went to his aid. And
Hmm.
she and Willie's holding her down. So I said, "Nah, nah. You got to let him be a man. He got to be a man and get up on his own." I understand mothers are protective in one way. Fathers, they're protective, but fathers understand, hey, You reckon because the difference between a father and a mother is, and this is not to replace anybody here, folks. You got to understand, mothers and fathers, they look at children differently. A father looks at a child as their own person. A mother looks at a child as an extension of themselves. And I can understand that because you gave birth to this individual, and I can understand that.
Mm.
And that's not to downplay the relationship a father has with a child. It's just two different relationships, and we have to respect that. And so, and I mean, and I get it. I mean, I can understand my mother looked at me a certain way, but I also was thankful my father was there, like, hey, leave him be. He's gotta grow up.
Right.
And sometimes it gets conflicting with it gets conflicting sometimes, when parents like give mixed signals and whatnot. But that's life. Life is gonna be life in one way or another.
Absolutely.
So that's the best things you can learn from life. But as far as this whole sensitivity thing, I said, yeah. I mean, like sometimes you got to draw the line. I mean, you sometimes people like forget that with kids, sometimes you don't want to expose them to certain things that you were exposed to because you're afraid that they might get corrupted. I'm like, not if you know what you're doing, and if you at least have to talk with them about certain things and prepare them for adulthood, like explain to them what to experience and how certain things are going to be like. So, because you don't want them getting the wrong information about certain things from the wrong people, especially as adolescents. That's why some parents have difficulty having certain types of talks,
Well,
especially like to
also,
talk about substance abuse and whatnot, or the birds and the bees.
but
It can be
also,
difficult to have.
but, but also, what gets tiring for me is the fact that the cancel culture that happens to the point where, for example, and I couldn't believe I did this story. You're canceling out Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes, a character who people deem creepy. Creepy. Now
Out
I'm
of
like,
context.
I was like, you have to be kidding me. I thought it was a joke at first. Okay, I met them halfway. They want to cancel out Speedy Gonzalez because Speedy Gonzalez was a racist character. Okay, I give you that one. I'll give you that
How?
one. I
Wait
give
a
you
minute.
Speedy Gonzalez. I give you Speedy Gonzalez. But
Okay.
Pepe Le Pew saying he was a stalker, he was a freak, and stuff like that. And they had to take him out. They were, I think it was supposed to be. I didn't watch it because I don't really care for LeBron James that much. It was Space Jam 2. And
Oh yeah.
they were talking about removing certain characters, and they were talking about removing
Mm-hmm.
Pepe Le Pew. I'm like, you gotta be kidding! It's a fake, it's a non-existing skunk that goes around wanting to get some. Okay, all right, okay, but damn, that's offensive.
First of all,
That's offensive.
did
I
they?
was outdone, dog. I was like, you gotta I said, you gotta be kidding me. And I know I'm biased. I grew up on Pepe Le Pew and the other Looney Tune characters and stuff like that, especially every Saturday morning on CBS.
Yeah.
I watched it faithfully. The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show had all those people
Uh-huh.
on there, all those different characters. Foghorn Leghorn. Now saying
Oh
Foghorn
yeah.
Leghorn was racist. He came from the South. They want to cancel it. I'm like, you're canceling these characters. Once again, what you should go back and watch those racist cartoons, those same characters in blackface and big
Yeah.
white ass lips. That's offensive. That's offensive
Bones
as
in the
fuck.
ears or necklace.
Exactly. Thank you.
I
All
remember
that.
that. I remember those commercials, like the
All
ones like
that.
they talk about, like from cannibals from Papua New Guinea and such, or the Solomon Islands.
Yeah.
Those are. And by the way, they're not Africans. They're Melanesians. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Big
See,
difference
not
between
everybody
us.
knows that though. Right. Yeah, they don't know that.
Oh, yeah, I know. Some people will feel ignorant about that, but the thing about Pepe Le Pew is, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
the kid, the person who has his attention is a cat who got hit with some wet paint. Her name is Penelope
Yeah.
the cat, who apparently is Sylvester the cat's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know she's a cat. He thinks she's a skunk, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing? Who is this weirdo? Why is he?"
Right.
I mean, how does he know she's not a skunk?
It's a cartoon.
Well, exactly. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry about that.
No, it's good. No, I'm just saying, like I'm watching one of the cartoons, and once again, I know people who don't like Paper Le Pew. I'm sorry. I'm watching one of the Paper Le Pew cartoons, and of course, once again, he's going after her, and he's skipping and frolicking and everything else, and I want to love you, and all that type of stuff. He does his regular routine, but he smells. And then she realized it was a female narrator in this particular episode, and was telling her that this would be the love of your life. You may need to join him. So she goes to a cheese factory, like like all these type of cheeses that smell, Rumford and everything, and all types of cheeses.
All them French cheeses, right. Like blue and
right.
Oh,
right. And he goes to a perfume. So they switch up. So they embrace, and they're kissing each other, and then he's like, oh, and for the first time he gets it now, because now he's smelling her stanky ass. He's like, oh no, the Pew, and he runs away, and she chases him. So that's my favorite Paper Le Pew cartoon of all time.
Oh yeah.
And so my thing is, it's just if something offends you and I can see it, I'm on board with it, and I support whatever that person says. I couldn't get on board with this one, and I think again, it opens the floodgates for everything else behind that. If you can cancel Paper Le Pew with obviously the cartoon, that I don't see that's offended. But hell, we're talking about Christmas time. They wanted to block that song. Let It Snow. Not Let It Snow. Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah, they wanted to get rid of that outside because they said that was creepy, and that the guy wanted to put some stuff in her drink to keep it there overnight so he could rape her. That was a direct quote I got from the newspaper. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But that's what people hear. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, that song, Baby It's Cold Outside, the roles are often reversed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like the man singing, I gotta go, but baby, it's cold. But she's singing, baby, it's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that, but you're just being one-sided about that. As far as Pepe Le Pew being canceled from Space Jam 2, I would say thank God, because we already have one skunk just stinking up the joint, courtesy of LeBron James. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
I wasn't going to go near it. Yeah, I wasn't going to go near it.
Yeah. From what I said, it stunk. It stunk. No, it didn't stunk. It stank. It stank.
Skunk de Pew. Yeah, I go along with that. Yeah, that I wouldn't go near it. Yeah, skunk de Pew.
Let you. He skunk worse. He skunk worse. He stunk worse. Are you sure he's a skunk? Must be a skunk from Belgium or something like that, that does cheese and stuff. What is wrong with this? I shouldn't be doing that to the Flemish. I shouldn't be dumping on the Flemish like that.
It stank to be damned, though. It stank to be damned. So that type of thing. So it was I get it, but a little bit too much for me. So I don't know. Sig, I gotta get on and get these little topics. But thank you so much as always. For being a part
also, before I leave, I mentioned this something called FARA, the Foreign Agent Registration Act. This is an act from that was signed into law in 1938. This is before World War II. So this law has been on the books like for damn near 90 years, close to 90 years now. 85 to 90 years. So this is something you have to. So if you're speaking on behalf of a foreign entity with the government or anything like that, you have to register with the DOJ for that to make it all nice and legal. So I'm not sure about Prof Michelle and everything. Not doing it through the proper channels. Dude, you set up to be the fall guy on that one. If the accusations are accurate and everything like that. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But Press, come on, man. I know you would get a superstar, but this is not the time, man. Come on, man. You can do better. Anyway, bro. But hey, I feel sorry for the brother, but it is what it is. It's not bad. The last time I remember Fuji had caught up in some stuff like this was John Forte when he was caught in a drug sting and some stuff like that. I'm like, oh
Right.
man, this is getting too much. But anyway,
Bad but true.
thank you
All
for
right,
having me
brother.
up, man.
Anytime.
You have a good
Anytime.
weekend. All right, love you, man, brother. Love
Love
you.
you
Bye.
more. Take care. Sick Diggy from Norway. Thank you so much, brother. I always appreciate it. Got about 10 minutes left of the program before we skedaddle. 312-597-2106. Or you can ask for the link. It's right here in the comment section. The peanut gallery put it back up here for those who might dare themselves. You can click that link and then come on through, just like Sick Diggy did. Contact me through the YouTube channel, the Chris Base channel with a period. All one word. All one word. Chris Base channel with a period at the end. Subscribe, like, and share that. Instagram, I am the base. Also on Facebook Live as well. As I went through Facebook Live to put that link in the comment section there. So various ways to contact this program, various ways to be a part of Free Your Mind. I am looking forward to this documentary that deals with one of the greats who ever did it from the standpoint of broadcasting, not just sportsmen in general, Stuart Scott. Stuart Scott's legacy comes to life in ESPN's upcoming 30 for 30 Booyah, a portrait of Stuart Scott presented by Modelo, premiering December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Documentary chronicles the trailblazing ESPN anchor who broke barriers, brought hip-hop culture to SportsCenter, and inspired millions through his career and courageous battle with cancer. ESPN released today the official trailer for Booyah, a portrait of Stuart Scott, presented by Modelo. Next installment in its Peabody and Emmy Award-winning 30 for 30 documentary series, premiering again December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN and the ESPN app. The film takes an intimate look at the life and legacy of Stuart Scott, the trailblazing SportsCenter anchor whose words, wit, authenticity transform the way sports stories are told. Let's see. Get back in the comment section here real quick. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa London. Good evening, Base Nation, everybody. Have a good weekend. Yeah, have a peaceful weekend, Lisa, and to everybody out there as well. Produced and directed by Andre Gaines, and executive produced by ESPN Films, Run and Shoot Filmworks Cinematation Studios. Booyah goes beyond the highlights to reveal the man who made millions of fans and a generation of broadcasters not only feel seen but also heard. Featuring never before seen archival footage, including self-shot home videos Stewart himself helped document his rise to prominence, painting an unfiltered and deeply personal portrait of a man who redefined what it meant to be both a journalist and a cultural icon. Booyah traces Stewart's journey from local television in North Carolina to becoming one of ESPN's most influential voices. At a time when hip-hop and popular culture was often marginalized in mainstream media and few black anchors held national prominence, Stewart brought both unapologetically to SportsCenter, blending sharp analysis, pop culture, and swagger in a way that spoke directly to a new generation of fans. As a broadcaster who happens to be black, African American, my personal journey was that I tried to find people who look like me to give me inspiration and hope. Travis, let's say Tavis Smiley was one, but he fucked up, so no Tavis. Stuart Scott was one of them. Stuart Scott looked like me when I had hair, but Stuart Scott, he reminded me of me from the standpoint of a black man broadcasting was concerned. And once again, you try to find people you can gravitate towards and check out their work and inspire you. He did inspire me a lot. And again, watching sports, and there wasn't any black people on sports, but not then. Now you see it a lot now. A lot of people of color, a lot of women on Sports Center now, but back then it was very scarce. And to see Stewart do his thing in real time was a work of art. Was a work of art. Once again, he had that. It's the combination where we say of book smart and street smart at the same time. You can't go wrong. Nobody can stop you when you got that. As my dad used to tell me, make sure you get them book smarts and the street smarts at the same time. And Stuart Scott was he was the man. He was the man for the grand. To me, over the years, he became the true face of ESPN. Because he was now ESPN, the mothership first. He was like on one of the other ESPN channels, like ESPN2 and stuff like that in the beginning of his career. But then he graduated, and he took a graduation step to being on the mothership on ESPN, as I read in the story, to the point where he became Sports Center anchor. That's huge. Big time huge. As cool as the other side of the pillow. Man, that's when I heard that in real time, like, ooh, man, that's nice. I gotta steal that one. But I never did, because if I said it, everybody said, okay, that's Stuart Scott. And he was that dude. He really was dynamic. Once again, and the hip hop culture was coming into play. All that was in real time. And he made it work, doctor. He was nice. Like sometimes you see these these basketball players on doing viral videos online, and it'll refer to another players like, oh yeah, he's nice, or he was nice, depending on the player they're talking about. Stuart Scott was nice. Let's see. Sick types. Hats off to Mr. Scott's memory. What a great man and journalist he was. He really was. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. Screaming A. Smith would not be where he is right now had Stuart Scott passed away. I stand by it. There's nothing against Screaming, who you know I feel about him in the world of sports journalists and broadcasters. You know how I feel about him already. But like I say, the man's probably got his bag. He has the top sports show in television on ESPN for First Take. Hey man, God, I don't really, you know how I feel about him. But what if Stuart Scott lived? What if he didn't have cancer and was still thriving now? Where would the Screaming A. Smith be? Probably nowhere. Nowhere. And not to the magnitude of a Stuart Scott is concerned. I stand by that. What's up, Monroe? That's my man Rudy. How you doing? Rudy, good to see you, man. Good evening to you. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for being here. You got it on time. About to check out in a little bit. I'm gonna get to Stuart. Let me address this as sick, because I meant to do it while we were in exchange. I'm going to adopt a rule, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. So, as the host, I don't mind you coming on, and I love your intake, and I love your take on things. I really do. And you tell me other hosts that would do this, and we'll have a conversation, because most hosts do not. I give you a lot of time to speak, because I appreciate what you bring to the table. And I'm not saying I'm different, but not too many hosts would do that. They wouldn't do it at all. They wouldn't get that much of time that I give you. So in my mind, just me, if we're on here talking, say, over 5 minutes, which is a long time, which I don't mind you, and I say, before we part company, because I'm about to end our connection, and you say, and one more thing, there should be no one more thing. I've given you 8 to 10 minutes to talk. That's a long time to talk. Between 5 and 7 minutes. That's a long time. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no and one more thing because you had all that time to speak, which I don't mind giving it to you. So if I say I gotta go, we gotta go. I'm on the clock here. And depending on how I go, sometimes I'm on time, sometimes I might go a little bit over time. But when I say it's time for me to part company, I got to part company with you. That goes for you and anybody else. But yeah, all that time to speak, then when you say one more thing, that's there is no more and one more thing. There isn't. So I didn't want you to understand that. I'll say fair enough. I must respect that. That's all. I'm not trying to kick you in the ass, mind you. I'm not. Really, I'm not. I just once again look at the time for the whole thing, and all that time, one more thing just adds more onto it. My apologies on that. Not a problem. Not a problem. It's all. It's done. I'm just making the case, and once again, that's for anybody as well coming on where they're calling or coming through the link. That's all. That's it. No, I appreciate you understanding. Not a problem. I love your insight, man. So that's why I always have you come on. And go ahead and work in Stuart Scott, and then we'll officially show will break company. One of the most dynamic personalities you ever seen. And even if you don't like, even if you don't care for sports, just him as a broadcasting journalist was just lights out. Lights out. I don't think there's anybody out there that compares. Really. And I think deep down inside, if you caught him and put him in the corner, I think Screaming A. Smith will tell you that that's probably right. I think. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. Once again, it's December 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see. All right. So let's see. The Bears play the Steelers on Sunday, November 23rd, noon Central Time kickoff. Man, I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be tough. But okay, but the Steelers are 6-4. The Bears are 7-3. I'm still gonna go with my beloved Bear. But they didn't pull out some miracles lately at the last minute. I told some of my friends on the phone, I thought the game was over with. No, they came back. That's twice. A couple of games they've done it. They've done it last week and a couple of games before prior. Last minute stuff. So they just gotta keep on going. But 7-3, oh, we'll take that. We'll take it. And Aaron Rodgers, they're 6-4, but he's washed up, man. Because the Steelers will be my backup team outside of the Bears. But to see Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform, it's still like bizarro world to me. Like I can't get on board with that. Plus, my beloved Bear is doing good, so nothing wrong with that. But 7-3 versus 6-4, yeah, let's make that 8-3. But we cannot take them lightly. Is the point? Cannot do it. Let's see. Okay. So next week is Thanksgiving week. I don't know if I'll be on Friday. I gotta play it by ear. I don't know if I'm able to do the precursor Wednesday. So let me keep thinking about that. Let me keep you at bay. I may pop on or may not. I don't know yet. So we'll see. But like Omar said earlier, happy pre-Thanksgiving, and hope you continue to. Well, yeah, family, of course, friends, come over to eat, drink, talk shit, things of that nature. But yeah, the mostly thing is to enjoy life and be peaceful. That's the most important thing. Continue to be safe. Continue to be sound. Continue to be healthy. and most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace. Long live the funk. More power to you. And in parting with all of you, always remember, always keep your head up.